Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies with your host, Jason Marshall.
How's it going, everybody? Really excited to put this show out today. What you're about to hear is We Don't Have Cookies' first stand-up show. It was held at a gay bar in Springfield, Ohio called Diesel. If you listen to the last episode, I did a show right outside of the venue in my car with Mama Kate and Mike Canestaro. And I gotta say, I was really impressed with the place. As soon as you walk in the bar, you go through the back door, and there's another building where the comedy show was held. And as soon as you walk through the door to the other building, there was a guy there taking everybody's money. They had a PA system all set up. It was about as easy as you could get as far as booking the show and having everything run smooth. I was very happy with it. And all the people that I selected to be on the show did a really good job, and there was reasons I selected each one. Mike Morris is really good at hosting, so I wanted to make sure I had him kick off the show. Adrian Miller is a really funny lady. When she was on the radio show, we had really good chemistry, and I wanted to make sure she was there. Carla Goldbusch is a really, really funny lady. She made the trip all the way from a show in Cincinnati, Ohio, all the way to the bar in Springfield to do the show, which I was really impressed with that, and I want to thank her for doing that. And Mike Canestaro is a really funny guy, and I couldn't think of anybody better to headline the first show. And both the Mikes are used to putting on their own shows. So it was nice to have them there just to pick their brains on how I could do things better and how to set things up. I also want to thank Keith for coming out with his portable recording equipment and recording everything for us. Keith is the host of the Sea of Madness podcast. If you're into horror movies, make sure you check that out. Before we get into the show, I do want to address a couple of things. If you don't hear a lot of crowd noise, we didn't really have them mic'd up, so that's kind of why, but you will hear one lady who came in during both Mike's sets at the beginning and at the end of the show to talk to the bartender, and she was somewhat intoxicated and kind of loud, so you do hear her occasionally during the Mike's sets. You'll hear little spurts of audio interference. I think it's from a cell phone being too close to the recorder. You might hear 20, 30 seconds of it. If you do, I just want you to know it's very brief. It might annoy you at first, but it is over very quick. Other than that, it came out pretty good. I hope you guys enjoy it. Like a lot of comedy shows that are independently run and are bar shows, you will have some chatter in the background, so there is that. And the crowd, it takes them a little while to get into it, but by the end, man, I couldn't have asked for a better crowd. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I really want to thank Diesel for having us there. Again, it couldn't have been a better venue. And I want to thank Mama Kate for putting the show on. I want to thank everybody who performed on the show. It was a great time. Hopefully it'll be the first of many. And here's the show.
Ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So thank you guys all for coming. This is really great. And we're so excited to be here and bring comedy back to Diesel. We did it for a while, a couple years ago, and we just kind of parted ways, but now we're back, and this is really great. I am not your host tonight.
Of course you are.
I'm sorry to disappoint you. We will not have all of this evening. Instead, I will bring up your host. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michael Morris.
Thank you. I want to thank everybody for coming out to Diesel tonight. Thank Diesel for having me. I am Mike Morris, if you haven't noticed. And let's get some things out of the way real quick. First of all, I want you to know that I am not fluffy, I am fat. Fluffy means that I'm soft and mushy. Fat is dormant muscle. So if you're going to tell me to get off the stage, tell my fat ass to get off the stage, not my fluffy ass. All right, now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to talk about a couple of things that are probably going to make some big people uncomfortable. One of the things that makes me most uncomfortable is the fact that just recently I figured out that I was actually fat. It didn't come when I looked in the mirror or anything like that. My fat moment existed when I was sitting on the couch with my girl, and we were watching TV, and she's rustling through bills, and the first thing I thought was, candy. Because I'm listening to the rattling and the papers and stuff, I'm just like getting hungry and shit. I watch commercials now instead of television shows. I actually DVR commercials. My favorite commercial are the McDonald's commercials, but not the one with the black people, the one with the white people. The ones with the black people make me feel self-conscious about my fat ass. Recently, I decided to go start, I started shopping and stuff, and it's a big thing for me because in the beginning, when I first started, it was difficult for me to find clothes that fit. I go to places like Kohl's and shit, and they say they have a big and tall section, but they put you in a little ass dressing room. So the whole time I'm in here, I'm trying to put on a sweater and I'm beating my ass, knocking up against the goddamn wall and shit, and I got the guy next door thinking that I'm coming through to fucking eat him or some shit. So my girl suggested that we go to Double XL. Anybody heard of that? Double XL? Never heard of it? All right, well, Double XL is like the mecca for fat people buying clothes. And the cool thing is, if you ever go shopping with your girl, they never have a place for guys to sit, right? You carry the bags and shit, you sit outside, but here they have actual room for them to sit in. They sit there, there's a big ass television, there's girls running back and forth bringing you clothes so you don't sweat while you're trying on. Because let's be totally honest, right now I'm out of breath right now just from walking up here. I mean, it was like amazing shit. I'm like, excuse me. So we got the holidays that just jumped off, and that's like my favorite season of the year. Not because of gifts and shit, just because Thanksgiving is like, fuck what everybody else thinks as far as Thanksgiving is for giving thanks or whatever the case may be. For me, it's me setting up the buffet that I always fucking wanted. The one thing I noticed though about Thanksgiving is that it's very uncomfortable for me to go to Thanksgiving with my family. Because black families don't start Thanksgiving in a regular time and shit. I went over to my friend's house and they had Thanksgiving and I was really excited. I was like, okay, cool. What time is dinner? 2 o'clock. What? 2 fucking o'clock? That means I can eat, take a nap, watch football, come back and eat, and still have time for dessert. Not black families. Not black families. Damn sure not my black family. Thanksgiving in our house, 5:30. That's a real fucking number, 5:30. Because you say 4, and everybody knows that means 5:30 because somebody's black ass ain't showing up on time. And then you gotta sit through this goddamn sit where you got the oldest relative in the house and they wanna pray for the meal and shit. Now you've been sitting in this goddamn house since about 12, sniffing all the goodies and shit that's making your stomach growl. You ask them, can you taste shit? Your mama's like, no. They don't put out hors d'oeuvres. All you got is real food. There ain't no finger sandwiches, nothing to tide you over or nothing. I come to my mom's house this year for Thanksgiving and she tells me fix a bowl of cereal. So here I am sitting on the couch, eating my Lucky Charms, waiting for everybody else to fucking bring their ass in here so we can have a goddamn dinner. And then you got that one relative that always wants to pack up shit. But that's the one that don't ever bring shit. So, and usually in my family, that's my cousin Steven. Steven don't bring shit to the goddamn cookouts. He don't bring shit to Thanksgiving, but he's quick to pack up everything. This year, this motherfucker had the audacity to bring cranberry sauce. 40 motherfuckers in my mom's house to eat, and he brings 2 cans of cranberry sauce. Like, what the fuck are we supposed to do with this shit? And then, so he's like, well, you gotta make that shit last, you gotta mix it up. So I come in the kitchen, I catch Steven's ass in there mixing cranberry sauce with grape jelly. He's like, yeah, it's just like God, we gonna make this cranberry sauce go for everybody. Whole can of grape jelly gone. My sister's pissed off because it still ain't dinner time and shit, and she gotta eat a peanut butter and peanut butter sandwich. Then you got my grandmother who comes in, and she don't want to eat anything until she finds out who the fuck made what. Nah, don't you eat that. Don't you eat that? No. Mabel don't know how to clean greens. I caught her last week. She was mixing greens in the cat litter box.
Yikes.
That's pretty much Thanksgiving at my house. I don't know how everybody else's city goes. It seems a little bit more comfortable amongst white people. There ain't no drama, there's no arguments, there's no fights. Ain't nobody shooting dice out back while your uncle's praying for the damn food for 30 fucking minutes. And that's the one thing that really bothers me about dinners at my family. What the hell you got to pray about for 30 goddamn minutes? That's not a prayer, that's a sermon. That's like everybody that's got together after a while, 15 minutes into his prayer, everybody's thinking like it's time for the offering to come through. Somebody need to pass a plate or something, collect some cash. And I know my mom was thinking that because she thinks that every year. My mom says this every year. I'm not doing it next year. This shit costs too much to feed y'all ass. I'm just sitting up here thinking to myself, you gonna lie? You've been feeding my big ass for fucking 44 years. If it ain't broke you yet, it ain't gonna break you now. Because I know my ass can eat. I can. I'm serious. I'm getting hungry right now. I'm serious. Like right now, I'm sitting up here like, damn, they ain't have no snacks, no finger foods and shit. That's pretty much how, the life of a fat guy goes. You know what I'm saying? It's very uncomfortable. Right now, my t-shirt feels, you can't even read this motherfucker. Like the word is strapped around the side of my shit. And the sad thing is, I got on Spanx underneath. I'm serious. I'm not lying. If I pull my shirt up right now, you'd be like, God damn. Really? And it didn't hold nothing in. My titties sweating. Anyway, so that's pretty much what I wanted to talk to you guys about this evening. But I want to tell you one more thing before I go. This is actually my first experience performing in Springfield. No. Cut that shit right now. Do not clap. Driving down this motherfucker reminded me why I drive around this bitch to get to Centerville. I'm black and I'm scared to walk around this motherfucker, so I don't see how you guys came in here.
We're brave.
Brave don't even have no fucking name for it, honestly. Y'all need like fucking badges and shit. You need like awards, chest medals and shit. Like
badge parade.
I walk through a crowd of fucking black dudes and no one shot me type medals. I'm serious. Like I'm driving down here and my girl, she's all comfortable and shit, but I'm locking doors like a motherfucker. I'm like, roll out the window up. She's like, it's hot in here. Fuck, I'll turn the heat off. All right, so that's going to be my time this evening. I'm going to bring up your next comedian. I want to hear some energy tonight because y'all didn't give me none. All right, fuck that. That's not working for me. Let's try this shit one more time. Are y'all ready for some comedy this goddamn evening? All right, I'm going to bring up your first comic of the evening, Mr.
Oh, you don't even know his name.
Just fuck with you. Adrian Miller!
I'm like the prototypical awkward white girl. Are we gonna shake hands or bump or hug? I don't. And then you try to do all three and it gets real awkward and you headbutt them. I think that's someone's joke actually. Sorry. Whoever's joke that is. I just want to take a quick poll before I get started. How many of you are excited about the holidays? How many of you are like, fuck the holidays? That's like how I feel inside. Like there's one little tiny part that's like, remember when you were a kid and how much fun that was? And then it's like, fuck that, I'm 33. It's all downhill from there. Speaking of holidays, yeah, one of the things you have to worry about in the holidays is bringing someone home for the holidays or having to face the really invasive questions about when you're going to pop out a grandkid soon. So I'm on a mission to find myself a McDonald's boyfriend. Now you're probably asking yourself, what's a McDonald's boyfriend? Let me explain. You start out in your 20s and you're there in the middle of the city and you have plenty of options. And you decide to go down the road of life, the highway of life. And at first it's great. You're full up, you left home, you have a ton of food in your belly, you feel awesome, you feel invincible. And then you start passing these exits one after another. And it's like plenty of fast food options, plenty of dining options, and you just keep going down that road because you're like, I'm fine, I'm good, there's plenty of options. Psh. And then those exits start getting farther and farther apart, right? And then you have like a shady truck stop where it's like dark and shit, and you're like, you know what? I don't want to die today. So you just keep going. And pretty soon it's nothing. And you're getting real hungry. And you're like, you see it in the distance. That light. That golden light of those golden arches. And you're like, oh, thank God. This is better than nothing. And that's how you end up with a fast food boyfriend. You know? And I'm really hoping this time maybe I can do just like a little bit better. Like maybe a Chipotle or a Tim Hortons. Or you know what? It's 2016. I'll even settle for a Wendy's or Five Guys. That's fine. I'll do any of those things. I'm open-minded and desperate at this point, so anything will do. So yeah, holidays. I'm definitely feeling the mood of this room. I'm not too keen on the holidays, and you're probably asking yourself, why am I wearing this stupid hat if I hate the holidays? Well, my family got an intervention, and they said, Adrian, you're really a bummer around the holidays, and we're going to send you to Grinch conversion therapy. Grinch conversion therapy. And, I just care about my family so much, and staying on that family cell phone plan. So here I am, wearing a stupid hat in the middle of Springfield, trying on this holiday cheer thing. And one of the first things they do is they put me on a special diet to improve my mood. It's 3 holiday cookies and 1 hot cocoa a day. Side effects include high blood sugar and an expanded waistline. It's really great, but I'm told it's necessary to expand my chest cavity for when my heart grows 3 sizes larger. When the holiday spirit floods you, apparently that's also a side effect. Apparently your heart bursting out of your chest, like the chest burster from Alien. So I'm doing what I can to stay safe this holidays. Eating 3 cookies and a hot cocoa a day. But I mean, guys, there's just so many things about the holidays that are just like, I mean, can we get into this? Gift cards. Gift cards, I'm convinced, are the 21st century equivalent of fruitcake. It's like each of those things is okay by itself. Like, fruit is good, cake is good, gifts are good, cards are good. Like, they're okay separately. It's when you bring them together that it becomes a nightmare. Sort of like getting together with your families on a holiday. This cousin's okay, this aunt's okay. It's when you bring them together that it's a nightmare. So yeah, gift cards. Like, I have some gift cards. I have some Starbucks gift cards that are older than some YouTube stars in my wallet right now. Like, I've got that gift card before those YouTube stars were a twinkle in somebody's eye, and now they're on Ellen and are millionaires. So thank you. But I guess maybe I can sell them on Etsy to hipsters as some ultra rare, extra vintage card, whatever. Yeah, and trees. Why do we have this tradition of Christmas trees? We go into nature, the beauty of nature, and we appreciate it for like 1 second for scotch, and then we pull out our axes and just start chopping away at the motherfuckers. We just are like, oh, you're really beautiful. Let me chop you down, drag your dead tree corpse back to my house, prop it up like it's still alive, decorate it, put a skirt on it like it's Norman Bates' mother, and then when we're done, we toss it in the gutters and wait for the authorities to discover it and take it away. I don't know about you, but I'm an artificial tree girl. I guess I'm kind of like John Wayne Gacy. I like to keep that shit in the basement until it's time to drag it back out and then put it back down there. It won't be seen again for the rest of the year. Man, holidays. I mean, it just really gets to me. Like, I found out this year that Christmas is the deadliest day of the year. The deadliest day of the year. And it's not from what you think. It's not suicide. It's not because people stuff themselves silly. It's actually cardiac complications. Because apparently you don't get house on the holidays, you get Doogie Howser taking care of you, okay? That's what happens. Literally your doctor will kill you. And, I think actually really the thing that they're not addressing is that those people weren't pre-gaming properly. See, they didn't take the special diet and didn't expand their chest cavity, and then when their holiday spirit flooded their system and their heart grew 3 times as too big, it just burst out of their chest. And I don't know why anybody's not facing that issue. Why is Huffington Post not on this? Get on it, HuffPo! Anyway, so you're probably thinking like, wow, this cute little white girl talks a lot about death and serial killers. So speaking of death, how's that for a segue? Yeah, people sometimes say that I kind of seem like a serial killer. Yeah. I don't know if it's my name. My name, first of all, again, is Adrian. Not Andrea, not Andrea, not Audrey. Adrian. Rhymes with Damien, the child Antichrist from the 1976 horror thriller. Yes, the Antichrist. That is what my name rhymes with. And, sure, maybe there's a few signs that maybe seem a little suspicious. Like, my favorite color growing up was black. And I used to do creepy things like take all the colors from the crayons and I would draw it in brightly colored, then take the black crayon and just draw over it, just black the whole thing out. That was my final touch. This was me as a preschooler. And then when I got older in college, I might have decided to take an anatomy class, not because it was necessarily required, but because you got to touch cadavers. That was why I took it. Because I was like, I'm not going to pass up this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to touch a cadaver and just see what it felt like. And maybe if I trunk my car, I wander around and maybe I always keep a tarp and duct tape and rope and an axe in the back and some chloroform. But that's none of your business. Maybe I just like to camp and have a sleeping problem, okay?
Nice.
Yeah. But my mom saw me do stand-up recently. It's always fun when your parents come to see you do this thing that you do in lonely bars in Springfield. And she had some notes for me. And she said, Adrian, I noticed that you do a lot of jokes about relationships. And I noticed that a lot of the other comics did jokes about relationships. And I really think you need to do something to brand yourself and differentiate yourself from the other comics. Do something that's, unique to you, that's your special interests, like things you like to look up on the internet. Like, I know, you should do a top 10 serial killer list. That's what you should do. That would be perfect. So even my mom thinks I'm a serial killer. But I guess that makes sense since she needs Adrian rhymes with Damien. I guess it makes sense that she would think that. And I actually think she would be prouder of me if I was a serial killer as opposed to a comedian. Because at least I would be successful at something repeatedly. And let's face it, being a serial killer is a male-dominated field. And she gave me Adrian, Adrian, the male spelling, because she wanted her little girl to break through those glass ceilings. And there's no better way to break through the glass ceiling than being a serial killer. I could be like an inspiration to all those deranged little girls out there. Such an inspiration. And to be honest, I think I would get caught because of her, because she couldn't keep her damn mouth shut. Because she'd just be bursting with this pride inside. Like she'd see on the news and whisper to her friends yeah, that's my daughter. That's my little baby girl. And she'd probably love it because then she would be, on the talk show circuit. She would probably have a tell-all book. She'd probably sell the life rights, for the Lifetime movie and eventually that Oscar bait movie. I mean, actually, it's not such a bad idea. Hey, if anyone needs a ride after the show, I have a white windowless van out back. Just hit me up.
Love it.
So, you guys have been great. I'll give you back to your host, maybe? Yeah.
Give it up for Adrian Miller again, guys. That was funny shit. It kind of reminds me of my first girlfriend back in high school and stuff. She was very morbid like that too. Kind of the only person that would actually date a fat guy, so I'm going to ask you guys to give me a topic, and I'm just going to go off of that.
Chop! Really? That's not really that funny.
Yeah, that's real fucking easy. Seriously? Seriously? Just gonna jump out there with Trump, huh?
Yeah.
Just, you know.
You got nothing to do.
Cunnilingus. I like that one.
Shit.
I like that one. Cunnilingus is kind of a funny word for me because it kind of reminds me, you kind of like it, but it doesn't really look all that pretty. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like, you know, black people with chitlins. You know, because seriously, I mean, if you really think about it, the very first time that you actually experience it, you're like, it's kind of funny looking.
Maybe you're gay.
You know what? I never even thought about it that way, honestly. You know what? I never thought about it. That could actually be the case.
From an
Oh, back
expert.
that's a girl.
Say what?
From an expert.
From an expert? Hey, you know what? I will trust Carla. Her words are gold with me. I believe in her. Damn it, if she says it's a possibility, I need to go ahead and probably explore that and try to find out exactly who I am inside, about myself. The only thing that I have a problem with is it sounds painful.
Better to give than receive.
Yeah, that's what I've been told, but you know, it's crazy.
You've had this talk before.
We've had this talk before. All right, so guys, I'm gonna bring up your next comic. Can I get some energy raised? Seriously, you guys, come on, it's Friday night. There's a lady in the back passing out jello shots and shit.
Slam them!
And it's like my favorite, man. It's like fat fucking drinks and shit. All right, give it up for Carla Goldbusch. Goldbusch.
Boys!
Thank you, sir.
I noticed we got a little problem. This mic was left over from the old owners.
Yeah,
I'm
sure
assuming.
it is.
Yeah, it's working exactly the way it did a few years ago.
Yeah, sure is.
Actually, a little better.
Yeah.
Much better. How y'all doing tonight? Woo! Good. Holding up for you?
Yeah,
Up in this bench, it is a little cold in here.
just a tad.
Warm this shit up. Had a long drive. I came from Cincinnati. I just arrived here. I followed a car almost the entire way here. This car had 2 bumper stickers on the back. One said Bush Cheney. The other one said World Peace. That son of a bitch couldn't pick a lane either. All over the fucking place. I'm happy to be here. I love doing gay bars, mostly because my DNA loves TNA. That's how I roll. I'll start telling you a little bit about myself. I was born the youngest of 6 into a very poor family. We were actually so poor that I was potty trained in an outhouse. That is not a punchline. But I have to tell you, I learned a couple of very important life lessons from that experience. Number 1 and number 2. So that worked out well for me. We were not only poor, we were incredibly conservative, and if you don't know what that means, I was raised to vote against my best interests. That's kind of how that shit works. My family is so conservative, they would not watch The Big Bang Theory until I assured them it had a creator. Now they love that shit. I was raised Baptist, Pentecostal, lesbian. I like to refer to myself as a recovering Baptist-costal. Turns out that's a lifelong recovery system. It's all good. When you have conservative parents, though, you really don't get the sex talk. You know, my parents never really talked to me about sex. Only one time I remember, we were having company, and the company was coming unexpectedly. And my mom was like, okay, Carla, hurry up. We got to get this house ready. You know, we need to do some cleaning. And I'm a little OCD, and so I started cleaning, and she's like, no. You need to hurry. We don't have this kind of time. Just give it a lick and a promise. And that was the full extent of my sex education. But it was good advice. Better at the licking than the promising, I must say. When I've been to that. I'm a hairdresser by profession. I'm finding doing comedy really isn't so different from doing hair. Notice you guys are all seated comfortably, and I'm still drunk. My liquor. On my worst day ever as a hairdresser, I accidentally stabbed a young Englishman in the back of the head with my shears, and they stuck. I mean, they didn't stick like you throw a dart as hard as you can across the room, like stick. But yeah, they were dangling off the back of his head. There was nothing I could do but like stabilize his head with one hand and like pop the shears out with the other. I was so freaked out by the whole incident, I didn't even think to give him both cuts for free. Much to my surprise, I come to work about a month later. I walk in and there's Andre, a little Englishman, sitting in my chair again. Like, holy shit, really? I walked over to him and I'm like, oh, Andre, how were those cuts? He's like, oh man, bloody awesome. Bloody awesome. I make money several different ways, obviously. I recently started a small sewing company where I make cushions for bar stools, the typical wooden bar stool that comedians generally have on stage. Little cushions for them. I call them stool softeners. Selling quite well in the older demographic. A couple of weeks ago, I discovered that I can eat a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts in 12 bites. It doesn't really fit with anything. I'm just kind of proud of that, so I'm going to share. I love those Krispy Kreme donuts. Where's my married people? How many married people do we have in the room? It's awesome when you're not ashamed to admit it. It's kind of a cool bonus. I married once. I married in '96 before it was legal. Thank God, because I'm no longer married and I still have my shit, so that's a good thing. Didn't have to pay for a divorce. That was cool. Yeah, that was cool. But when I married like everybody else. You know, I had a beautiful ceremony where I promised God that I would stay married until death do us part. But when it came right down to it, I just couldn't pull the trigger. Being married's hard. It's very hard. You typically have two people that are opposites. You stick them in a small living environment and you expect them to be happy for their whole fucking life. It's tough. People disagree. For instance, my ex-wife thought that we should never, ever go to sleep angry. Personally, I thought it was really bad for our health to stay awake night after night after night after fucking night. My family all said that same-sex marriage was going to destroy the sanctity of marriage. Straight people, has it hurt your marriage at all? Yeah, I told my sister the other day, I'm like, you know, nothing's really changed. The only thing that same-sex marriage has destroyed is gay people. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. You can lose your shit now. You lose all your fucking shit. Yeah, so I'm single. I've been single for a very long time. A couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine said, Carla, you know what? It's time to let the walls down. You need to let somebody in. You know, people can only hurt you if you let them. So I sucker punched that bitch. That's right, now we've both been hurt unexpectedly. She said, oh, come on, Carla. You're quite a catch in a catch and release sort of way. She said, you know, there's a lot of fish in the sea, and what you need to do is lower your standards. So, I've been fishing a lot lately. Just eat whatever I catch. Yeah, that might be my favorite line. Been to a psychic twice this year because I totally believe in that shit. two different psychics on two different occasions told me that by December 1st, I would have met a beautiful lady and be madly in love. Here we are, December 3rd. This is the first time I've made this announcement. I totally dodged that fucking bullet. Do you have any parents? Dozen kids here. How many kids here? Two. Good. I'm not ashamed of kids either. That's nice. That's nice. I don't have kids of my own. I do have an awesome godson. His name is Jacob. I picked him up the other day to take him out for dinner. We were driving down the road. We stopped at an intersection, and I noticed he's just staring out the window. I looked over to see what he's looking at, and just outside the window at the intersection, there's a cross with a wreath around it, a little makeshift memorial for someone who died, and he's looking at it, and he looks over at me, and he says, "Aunt Carla, that really is an awkward place to bury a body." I said, "You're right, son, it is." Because that's funny, I didn't crack that. It's just funny. So I take him out to dinner, and when the food arrives, he looks at me and he says, "Aunt Carla, would it be okay if I said a prayer for our food?" And I have to tell you, I was quite touched. Kids don't do that these days. It was pretty awesome, right, Jack? So I said, that would be awesome. Thank you very much. And so Jacob bowed his little head and he said, "Dear Howard, thank you so much for this food and our time together. We both love you. Amen." I'm like, "Jacob, that was awesome. Thank you. That was very thoughtful. And wow, you even knew God's name was Howard. How did you know that?" He says, "Well, it is in the Bible. Jesus said it. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name." Yeah, I didn't correct that either. Sometimes you just need to pray to Howard. Just need to do that shit. Yeah, I don't have kids. These days, lesbians are having all kinds of kids, but it was different back in the day. Sometimes I wish I had kids because I watch you guys, and every morning you get up just so super excited to go to work. And I don't have that. I miss that. But all kids aren't good. I could have got a bad kid. So maybe it's not so bad. I was out a couple months ago, and I ran into a friend's son, teenage son, and I saw him in possession of a cocaine spoon. And I have to tell you, it troubled me a bit. I wasn't really sure what to do with this information. And I thought, well, should I tell his mother? And then part of me thought, well, if he's got a drug problem, the last thing he needs is his mom bitching at him. And then I thought, well, maybe she could help him. Well, should I tell her? Should I? I don't know. And then I thought, just because he has a cocaine spoon doesn't mean he uses it. Fuck, I've got a treadmill. I have a hard time keeping up with my godson, so I decided it is time to get into shape, and so I went out and I bought myself a total gym. I'm sure you've seen it on television. It's a great little machine. Comes with a short list of things that you're going to need to put it together, but what they neglect to tell you is you will also need a stiff drink, an ice pack, and a Vicodin. Once I got it fully assembled, I discovered if you lay that bitch perfectly flat, it makes an awesome bench for eating Krispy Kreme donuts. That's what I call a win-win. So, as usual, I am your oldest comic of the evening. I don't know if you heard Katie before I got up here tell me to break a hip. Yeah. Bitch. It's tough getting old. I'm already noticing people don't show you the respect that you deserve when you get older, especially much, much older people. You guys respect your elders. They learned something when they were here before you got here. Be nice to old people. It's a tough way. I mean, I can remember when I was young being told that as you age, you become much more comfortable in your skin. Have you guys all heard that?
Yep. No.
100% true. Absolutely 100% true. But I'm going to tell you what they don't tell you. You are so much more comfortable in your skin as a result of how much more loosely your fucking skin fits. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you that. Another thing about being old, did you know that you could be 87 years old with an absolutely spotless driving record, and they will try to take your license the very first time you run over a child? That's not fair. That's not fair. I want to thank everybody for coming out to this first comedy show back here at the Diesel. It's awesome that you came out. And for those of you who have not yet come out, I did bring coming out registration forms. Just in case. Apparently not everybody knows
Not yet.
they need to fill out that coming out registration form. Is that right, sir?
I'm only 2%.
There you
I'm almost there,
Yeah.
according to Hampton.
Yeah, 2%. Yeah, I know where that percent's at. That's right. Rule of thumb, if you don't know if you need to come out or not, ladies, if you own a Subaru, you're fucking gay. And guys, if you own a Mini Cooper, gay. Totally fucking gay. Just so you know. Is anybody in here okay with a one-night stand? Anyone? Woo! Not a joke, I'm just checking to see. Have a bunch of friends, totally, absolutely fine with the one-night stand. Personally, I think it throws the whole balance of the bedroom off if you don't have two nightstands, but maybe that's just me. I was leaving the show a couple of weeks ago, and a lady followed me out, and she said, Carla Goldbusch, is it kosher for Jewish people to refer to sex as porking? And I'm like, wow, that is a brilliant question. So I went home, did a little research. What I discovered is, if I prepare myself up on one surface, and then serve myself up on a totally different surface, totally kosher. Totally kosher. When I was in college, I took human sexuality because I wanted to take a class that I could utilize for my entire life. So far, so good. I quickly discovered you cannot learn everything you want to know about sex in a classroom setting. So when the semester was over, I slept with my professor, learned a very valuable lesson, something I had been told that I did not fully understand yet. But it is true, those who can't teach. So, a couple more before I get out of here. Jewish lesbians are extremely tight. Yeah, I said it. I said it.
Oh, wow.
I've been trying my hand at writing a little poetry. I wasn't going to share tonight, but would you guys mind if I shared a couple little poems I put together?
Hell no.
Why
See
not?
if they might be a little funny. Roses are red, pansies are gay. That's handy information on Valentine's Day. Okay, maybe not. I'll try one more. Roses are red. Sex is a pleasure. If you can avoid the pricks, they go well together. Alright, maybe I'll stick to comedy. I'll leave you with this. All my friends have tattoos. How many people in here have tattoos? Hey, do you have a tattoo? Tattoo? You have two? You have a tattoo? I've never had a tattoo. I never wanted a tattoo until I became a comedian. And then all of a sudden I decided, I need a funny ass tattoo. So I put a lot of thought into it, and I decided to get two. So I go into the tattoo parlor, I ask for 2 tattoos. So now I have a tattoo to the left of my pubic area of a lawnmower. And on the right side of my pubic area, I have the words tattooed, eat it like a champ. That's right, ladies, I'm both well-groomed and I come with directions. You guys have been awesome. My name's Carla Goldbusch.
Give it up for Carla. That was funny shit right there. Carla, you know what? You got me questioning myself now, goddamn. I just might be gay. I don't. At least I just want to find out. That was some funny shit, man. I swear. You actually made me snort.
Cocaine? Got more?
Nah, but I got a spoon, damn it. Alright, guys, I'm going to bring up your headliner this evening. This son of a bitch is probably one of the funniest guys, and actually, he was the first guy to give me an opportunity to perform at Wiley's. So give it up for your headliner tonight, Mr. Mike Canestaro!
Mike Morris, you guys, there he is! There he goes, right there, he's walking right there, he's walking back there, it's Mike Morris, everybody! He's by the bar now, Mike Morris! He's sitting down, Mike Morris, you guys! Yeah, that's Alex! Some shit happened to him as a child. Give it up for Alex, everybody. That lady who just came in, give it up for her. She was give it up for my main man. The guy who put that disco ball in. Holy shit, it's a twofer. I never seen a twofer. That's symbolic and shit in this place. It's symbolic. Symbolic 2-ball disco ball. Girl, that's I don't know what it is. Shit. Should have started stronger. I don't know. My wife was pissed at me. She caught me jerking off in the shower, and she had a good point because we were in Home Depot. Like that. You know, I'm not gonna plunk down all that money unless I know I like it first. You know. Doctor said I'm ADHD. I was like, hell yeah, I'm after the birth of Christ in high definition. You know, tell me something I don't know there, Doc. Work with this guy who keeps bragging about how he ran a half marathon. And finally I'm like, you ran a half marathon? Well, let me be the first to wish you congratulations. I was driving here today. Congratulations is actually 8 out of 5 characters. It's a little bit more than half. I don't know if you guys are paying attention. You'd probably be cool with it, right? It's not the same. It's cool with it. Keith, does that go okay? It's still good for the recording. Okay. I feel like he's the court stenographer of this show. It's going to be written transcripts later. You just like wipe your ass with him in the bathroom is what's going to happen. What the hell was I talking about? Nothing, obviously. Congratulations. My brother's a speech therapist, and he says that sometimes people make strange noises with their mouth because it feels good, which totally explains why I like to say, to prostitutes. And I guess what I'm saying is if a man looks at a glass and he thinks it's half empty, then he's a pessimist. Am I right?
Right.
That's fair enough. And if a man looks at a glass and thinks it's half full, then he's an optimist. And if a man looks at a glass and thinks, well, I'm going to spill that all over my face, then he has Parkinson's. And that's sad. Applause break, Alex, for Parkinson's. No. That's terrible. That's going to hell. You guys are going to stay here in hell. You guys are... You know, I was talking to this lady I work with, and she said something that stuck with me. She's like, I'm still friends with 85% of my ex-boyfriends. And all I can think is like 85% requires a divisor of at least 20. It's as far as you can break that fraction down, like 85%, 17 over 20. And what if she meant 34 out of 40 ex-boyfriends? 153 out of 180 ex-boyfriends. I don't care how you look at it, she's had way too many dudes in her denominator. And it's good. Usually I get people looking at me like, denominators in the lower half, right? Yeah, denominators in the lower half, right? And she's got a pretty big one. Anyhow. You guys happy that election is over and shit, or not happy? And whatever it is, whatever, I don't know. You know, what bothers me more than the stupid candidates is the like local issues. You know, they got those signs everywhere, just tugging at your heartstrings, like vote yes for mental health, and like vote yes for parks, and I'm like, I don't know how it's going to shake out. I hope at least if everybody votes no on mental health, they sure as hell better vote yes on parks. And libraries. Okay, no more homeless jokes, I swear. I'm very proud to say that I vote only third-party candidates. It's not because I'm sick of bitter partisan politics, it's because I'm a germaphobe and ain't no one else touching the screen there. You know? So, I'm in there voting with my elbow and shit, like, oh, that guy was confident from me. Come on, Gary Johnson. Sure, Gary Johnson had zero chance of being elected president, but I also had zero chance of contracting explosive diarrhea. So I think they even out. Diesel, that's what I think. I lost momentum right there. I felt explosive diarrhea. I did. That's a pretty bad day at the doctor, don't you think, when he tells you you have explosive diarrhea? Like, you know, yes, your diarrhea is so bad that he has to put another adjective. You know, like, well, there's good news and the bad news.
Did he have to tell you?
Shut the fuck up, Alex. You should know. No, actually, you don't know. There's a certain rhythm to this. You don't really know yet.
You have to be told.
No, don't cut it down. Leave it is, you know, and then, like the comic who yells, kind of comic in training who yells shit. Like the other guy. Imagine if I yelled shit at Alex when he's up there, like, you ain't funny! That's all I would do. What the fuck was I talking about?
Explosive diarrhea.
Oh, explosive diarrhea, yeah. Well, there's the good news and the bad news. The bad news is you got diarrhea. But the good news is at least it's not explosive guy. And, okay, it was, I thought an East Indian accent would be funny. I mean, I do voices, okay? And it's like, watch it. People get pissed at that racial humor, I guess. One time someone, that East Indian accent, not funny, it's racist. My boyfriend's East Indian, and I'm like, yeah, it's totally racist. You're right. When I do the doctor accent, it's like I take a whole group of people, and then I make the statement that they're all disproportionately doctors. I hope I didn't piss him off. Oh, that guy's a dick right there. He's a dick. We're not all medical doctors. My PhD's in engineering. So that guy's a dick. Okay, so you guys fired up over the holidays. How many times you been asked that? 3. I'm gonna go home, see my family. My brother next week is going to donate a kidney to his nephew-in-law, and I can't think of an action that would make him more of an asshole. Because how am I going to compete with that shit? How am I going to compete with that? I do volunteer work with the elderly, and what I wanted to say was the other day I screwed up. I wanted to say, like, in the nursing home, everyone gets a trophy. And it came out wrong as, in the nursing home, everyone gets atrophy. And you know, they wheeled right out of there. Wheeled the whole room. Wheeled right out. Had some hard experiences with volunteer work. Like, I will never again volunteer at the Alzheimer's walk. That was disorganized. That was very disorganized. Reminded me of the Diabetes Association ice cream social. Just disaster. Yes. People with Tourette's syndrome, silent candlelight prayer vigil. I can go on. I can go on here. These all 18. I can go on. Going home over the holidays, you know, I see my dad. My dad's kind of a hermit. He's getting older. He's kind of like, you know, Mike Jr. Nailed it. That's his voice, I swear to you. Mike Jr., the older I get, the more food loses its good taste. And I'm like, yeah, because you shop at Aldi, Dad. You know? Dad's got like a war basement with like 40 years of canned goods down there. You know, they got like that family member in their house, the prepper, you know. Ironically, at my dad's house, you die on day 2 of the nuclear war because you die of food poisoning. The shit's so damn old, you know. It's like, Dad, look at this can of beans, the one that's bulging like a kid. Says, now proudly served in all 48 states. I mean, Ulysses has ground baked beans? That's gotta be from Aldi, Dad. Oh, tell me the cereal is fresh. Moses Berry Crunch? That's got manna in it. That's not fresh, Dad. That's... Who was their corporate spokesperson, like Charlton Heston? You know, it was like, introducing Moses Berry Crunch. With so much fiber, your ass cheeks will part like the Red Sea. Part of this faithful breakfast, Moses Berry Crunch. I don't know. I'll look at my notes. You guys only paid $5. So. You guys on Facebook? Why are you on Facebook? You know? No? How many guys have that?
Yeah.
Totally add me on Facebook, like, especially you ladies. Like, I will right-click and like, save as on your shit. I will right-click, save as on your shit. And fuck that joke up. Like that, you know, bikini photo from the summer. Right-click, save as, secret folder on my work computer. Yeah, add me on Facebook. It's kind of hard. Anybody got that Facebook lawyer on their friends list? You know, like, hear ye, I do declare, Facebook cannot use my photos. It's mine, and I is legally binding because I typed in where it says what's on your mind. But they can't do that. This tacitly implies. I'm like, oh Oh, now I know you didn't write that shit. Tacitly implies you cut and pasted that shit. Sorry, I drank too much. Underground here. But, tacitly implied, I'm going wow, I gotta see these steamy pictures that someone's so protective of. And then I'm looking at it the only thing tacitly implied is you're fat and ugly. That's what's tacitly implied. Awareness. You guys aware of the awareness? You're trying to raise awareness on Facebook to, cure shit. You know what cure shit? Curing shit is what cure shit, not awareness. Awareness doesn't cure shit. Curing shit is what cure shit. You're I'm gonna pour a bucket of ice water on my head for ALS. Alright. I'm gonna stick my penis in a pickle jar for lupus. Alright, that makes just about as much sense. He's got November. November, men's no shave November for men's cancer. You ever had chemotherapy? I have. You ain't growing shit for hair. I had chemotherapy in 1987. All my pubes fell out. You guys are probably oh, that's great. You did chemical manscaping. Oh, that's great. Do you know how hard it is to lose your virginity with no pubes in 1987? That was the era of big hair. That's all I'm saying. Don't believe me, go around and porn on videotape. That's, make it beta format or some shit. Like two Brillo pads bumping into each other. You guys enjoy this weather change? Stare at me with a blank expression if you do. Okay, thanks. You guys are great. It's all these, winter and then summer, and that's when the meteorologists just kind of take advantage of it. That's their Super Bowl season, it's their playoffs. And shit. Don't get me wrong, I gotta say, the TV meteorologists, all the women TV meteorologists, to me, they're hot as hell. They're smart, they're sexy. There's one here in town, I want to give her a warm front. I really do. Give her a warm front. Male meteorologists, no matter what town you go, total creepers. I'm just saying, just having a nerdgasm there in front of the green screen. You're I've never seen anything like this before. Just this thrust of storm, just gonna thrust it wrap around moisture. Are you kidding me? Just this line of storm just gonna thrust its way into so much moisture. And then the TV director's uh-oh, Steve's got a boner. Camera one, pan up. Steve's having another lower level disturbance. Pan up! He's talking to the producer. We should have got Steve some green pants. That just everything just disappeared down there. Yeah, we should have hit the good mill right after St. Patty's Day. There would have been a fine selection of green, disappearing, boner bones hiding pants. There would have been a fine selection. Weather people, they talk to us like we're home licking our TV screens or some shit. Lightning Awareness Week. Doesn't lightning come with its own awareness? Okay, I'll get scientific on you here. As it slices through the atmosphere, and then the layers slap together and make so much sound that you can hear it from miles away? No, not enough awareness. What we need is a cartoon lion on TV to tell us what the fuck to do. remember, when thunder roars, go indoors. Also, don't stick your penis in the garbage disposer. They got that acronym, you know, like, remember, duck, D-U-C-K, D, get down, like when you duck. You, get under something after you duck. C, take cover. K, keep safe. K, keep safe. Why don't we just go straight to K? I know. Just really emphasize K. You know, like, K, keep safe. K, K, K. That'd be memorable. Or at least make that acronym more memorable, you know, like some idiot standing out in the middle of the field, there's like a funnel cloud coming. There it is, right there. Holy shit. Funnel cloud coming right towards him, like, what's that long tubular thing dangling from the sky's belly? Oh, I remember the acronym now. Dick. D-I-C-K. D, get down. I in the bathtub. C, pray to Christ. K, kiss my ass goodbye. Everybody knows Dick. Thanks for the story. Sorry I said that shit about you. I know this election's got people polarized. It kind of, you know, people like the Nazis are making a comeback. And, you know, I'm not like a bigoted person. I'm really not a very bigoted person. And, you know, that'd be terrible. You know, no, it's not going to happen. No one would allow for that to happen. But if it did, it'd be terrible because of all the, you know, the Nazis making a comeback. And also bad because, like, I play Tetris. And you know how hard that game would be if it had swastikas in it? Like, you know, you'd just be playing like, you know, like, okay, well, here's the thing that looks like a square, so that's easy. Right there. Okay. Here's the thing that looks like an L, so flip it, on it. Oh, shit! Another swastika, huh? Where the hell is that gonna fit? So it's like, flip it, but it doesn't even fucking matter where you flip it. Stupid Hitler Tetris. I gotta admit something to you guys. This is like, a lot of you know me, and you know this is like not what I do for a living. What? What? You're here? What? I teach chemistry at a community college, and so I have some people back here because they think it's going to affect their grade positively. They got that one wrong, other than they. We drove up here for. Yeah. That's a hard gig, though. Teaching chemistry at a community college is kind of a hard gig because, like, not all of our students are prepared for college. Like, if I had $1 every time I had to say, like, look, I don't know who taught you, but the nucleus of an atom does not contain protons and croutons. That's just not. I know you're homeschooled, Jeremiah, but that works for me. It's just not. I had this one group of students like a couple of years back, and if I had to describe them in one word, I guess I'd have to go and say like, fuckers? You know, it's just like they just kept talking like all the time, I couldn't get a word in edgewise, and it's one time, like, I was having, like, I get this nerve pain, like, and I was saying, hey, you guys, look, I've been standing all semester, and now I get this shooting pains down my leg, and so I had to sit once in a while, and this one kid that always piped up, he's like, oh, Mr. Canestaro, are you sure that we didn't construct a voodoo doll of you? And every time you feel that pain, it's because we're poking it with a needle, and that's where the pain is coming from. And I'm like, no, I know you guys would never do something like that because that would require that you actually apply yourself. And so, I know that this couldn't happen. I don't know. I've been doing this thing as a closer, but I feel like you guys aren't ready for it, really. It's too experimental. But people are like, boy, I bet you really, torture those people with the periodic table of the elements there. You probably torture them with that thing. And I'm like, no, I don't torture people with the periodic table of the elements. But I would if I could. And so that's this next final segment is what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick members of the audience. And you're going to pick an element from the periodic table, and then I'm going to torture you with it, or I'll tell you how I would torture you with it. Are you game for that kind of thing? Okay, 3 of you. Good. So, but I also, to make it more torturous, I'm going to do it as a persona of overacting community theater guy. Who shall be first to be tortured? Alex, you spoke up quite a bit. Pick an element from the periodic table, because now's your time to shine, my man. I'm not talking about your head.
Cesium.
Cesium. Oh, Cesium. The emperor of the applied metals. I will take Cesium, and I will tie you to a chair, and I'll blindfold you. And then I'll say, Alex, now's the time to open your mouth. It's not during the fucking comedy show, but now that time. And you go, yes, Mike, yes, just give me a spot on your next show you can run every other month. And I will take a metallic fragment of cesium, and I'll pop it down your throat, it'll go down your esophagus, and then it'll react with your stomach fluids, and it'll produce flammable hydrogen gas that will ignite itself, and your whole esophagus will turn into a flaming fire channel, and you'll be like, and I'll be like, you'll be like, and I'll be like, and that's how I will torture Alex with cesium. Who shall be next? Because he got fucked up pretty bad. Yes. What's your name? Leslie, you have a funny head. Name a periodic table from the... I need someone else. Name one if you don't want. You want to pick your own? Pick your own? Your bad friend. Anything. Someone say some shit. Oh, oxygen. Getting some help from her friend and pick oxygen because we all need it to support life. Did you know that oxygen comes in multiple forms, including deadly ozone? I will sneak into your house if your man friend will agree that it's okay just to make sense. And I will sneak in and I will take oxygen in the form of pure caustic ozone, and I will sneak in while you're sleeping. And I'll replace the hose on your CPAP machine. And then I'll take and put it in connect it to a whole tank of pure ozone, and it'll pump in and you'll breathe it in, and as you do it, it'll go down your lungs and it'll burst your alveoli, and you'll be like, and you'll be like, and that's what I would put with oxygen. Jason put on this show, we should torture his ass. Jason, pick an element from the periodic table. Chromium. Oh, chromium. The shiniest chromium. Shiny chromium. I will take chromium in its pure form, and I will melt it down with a big furnace, and then I will take Jason and I will tie him to a chair and I'll blindfold him. It's kind of my signature move so far. I don't know. I'm making all this shit up. He's trying to kill time and sell drinks. And then I will melt it down to a molten liquid, and Jason will be sitting there, and I'll be like, oh, what are you gonna do with this? And I'll like pull it into a graphite mold. It'll be a long rod. And you'll be like, what are you gonna do? And it'll be hardening there as it cools. And then he'll be like, you're gonna stick this in one of my orifices or something? And I'll let it cool even further and let him torture him more. And he'll be like, no, Jason, I'm not a pervert. And I'll pick it up and pop him in the head with it. That's all! Torture Jason with hot chromium. All right, pause. Break for the... Who's next? Anybody else? No? Do it, Keith, then, as my closer. Keith's gonna get buried. Because it's one of my favorites. No, I got two more, I think. Would you like me to torture with barium? Sure. Yeah, because people are picking weird shit like chromium, and I will take barium, Keith, and I will dissolve it in acid, precipitate it as a sulfate salt, making a milky white suspension. And then I, of course, have tied Keith to a chair and blindfolded him. Because that's just what you do when you're torturing people. And then I'll put it in front of him, and I'll say, drink up there, Keith! And he'll be like, no, too chalky. Too chalky. So I will put some creamsicle flavoring in it, just do a pizza and pour down. And then he'll drink it up, and I'll drive him to the hospital, and I'll go to the radiology department, and then I will take, and I'll bribe the technicians off. Technicians off that job. Pack of smokes usually does the trick. And then I will work the machinery, and he'll be like, you're going to give me a CAT scan? And I'll be like, no, Keith, I'm going to give you 47 CAT scans. And I'll whip him in and out of the tunnel, and I'll work out the imagery, and then I will supplant an image with Photoshop of a Coke bottle in his colon, and I'll post it on social media. And all his Christian friends will shame him. And that's how I will torture him. Bury him. I feel like I should go over here because I will pretend this shit never happened on Monday, people. What is it? Pick one for me, anybody. I gotta do Wesley. Wesley must be, huh?
Helium.
Helium. Oh, helium. Mr. Wesley, I will torture you with helium. Here's how I will do it. I will take a gas discharge tube. By the way, this is my closer. I will take a gas discharge tube, and I will pump all of the oxygen out of it, and I will connect it with a wire, and then I'll pump in some helium gas, and then Wesley, of course, will be tied to a chair and blindfolded, and I'll say, open up there, Mr. Wesley, and he'll be like, helium, and then I'll actually put some up his nose and go, but that will be just a side gig. Then it will go down into his stomach, and I will connect the wire to a high voltage source, and his whole belly will light up. And then all the children from the neighborhood will go like, oh my God, that's E.T., the extraterrestrial. And Wesley will be like, ouch. And then all the undermother children will chase you around and ask you to go for a ride on your flying bicycle. And that's how I will torture him with helium. It makes a yellowish discharge of visible light. I probably got that shit. I wanted to go stronger, everybody. But thank you so much. My name's Mike. I don't know how much time I did, but thanks for supporting live comedy. And that's it. I'm going to go drink now.
Give it up for Mike Canestaro one more time, guys. That was a hell of a performance. That was really funny shit. Especially the throwback Tennessee brush fire with the whole puke thing.
Diagnosed with explosive diarrhea, and I'm like, Jesus, you fucking know that?
Oh my God, here he goes. He's already starting this shit. Already starting this shit. God damn it, can't take Alex nowhere. I want to thank everybody coming out for Diesel. I want to also thank Jason Marshall for helping us and the owners here at Diesel. I appreciate everyone for coming out. Thank you very much. God bless you. Good night.
Thanks for listening. Tell your friends about the show and leave a review.
I just might be gay.